We're going to see if we can get water to boil while it's still at room temperature. You're going to need a plastic syringe, the kind without any needle on the end, and also some room temperature water. Here's what we want to do. You want to fill the syringe about a quarter to halfway full of water. Make sure when you fill it, there's no air bubbles inside. It's just pure water. Now what you want to do is place a finger on the end so no air can go in, and try to pull the plunger out. You'll notice that it's hard to pull this out. The pressure inside the syringe is reduced to be below the surrounding atmospheric pressure that we have right now when you do this, because you're trying to expand the volume and you're not allowing any air inside to come in and equalize the pressure. So your pressure goes down. Anytime the pressure goes down, so does the temperature. Notice that an air bubble starts to form inside your syringe. Pull the plunger out again and then release it quickly. Pull it out, release it quickly. Pull it out, release it quickly. Notice that tiny bubbles are starting to form in the water. The water looks like it's starting to boil. So there's a little space that appears inside. You see that big air bubble in there? That's a partial vacuum. It's not a perfect vacuum because it has some water vapor in it and some air. So we call it a partial vacuum. Basically, tap water has air dissolved in it. This is great news for fish. This is the reason they don't drown. It's because there's air bubbles trapped inside the water. When you lower the pressure, see that dissolved air, it comes out of the solution and forms bubbles. When you slowly allow the plunger to slide back into the syringe, the air that already came out of the solution stays out of the solution, and any bubbles that form don't go away when you put it back the way it was. So the water vapor goes from being a gas to a liquid really quickly. We're going to figure out how temperature, pressure, and volume are all related when we do these thermodynamic experiments. When these little tiny gas bubbles form inside the liquid, that's when we say a liquid is boiling. Now, instead of using a plunger, if you had something stronger like a vacuum pump, you could actually make water boil at the freezing temperature of water. So you'd actually have a solid, liquid, and gas all at the same time. The triple point happens when you get a solid, liquid, and a gas that will happily stay in all those three states at the same time. We say they're in equilibrium. Now, the triple point of water, the only place we've found that so far that happens naturally is on the surface of Mars. The pressure has to be very low and the temperature has to be very low for that to happen. It's possible to heat water above its boiling point without it actually boiling. Now, if you've ever heated up water in a glass or a ceramic mug, you know that sometimes you can superheat the water before it even boils, meaning that you can heat it to a temperature that's above the boiling point, but you won't see any gas bubbles. What you will see are tiny, tiny little bubbles all the way around inside the cup that will suddenly burst into bubbling as soon as you touch the cup or you jiggle it just a little bit. When that happens, you basically are shaking loose the small little bubbles, so the water suddenly erupts into boiling hot water that can easily burn you. So you want to be careful. It's possible to heat water above its boiling temperature without it actually boiling. And in this case, it's possible to lower the pressure to get water to boil that's also at room temperature. Now, you don't just have to use water. You can use carbonated water, which already has carbon dioxide dissolved inside the liquid, and see how well that one works as well. We're going to figure out how temperature, pressure, and volume are all related when we do these thermodynamic experiments.